Today we're going to create a video editor in Flutterflow using the dependency video editor version 3. This is partly in response to this Reddit post that came in today, and partly because I think it's a very good exercise in knowing how to use Flutterflow, and I'm going to use it in conjunction with Cursor. Here's a screenshot of the application we're going to create, and this is basically where I get to by the time we get to the end of this tutorial, so you can see that I've done it. Firstly, let's create a new project. Let's immediately head over to the custom code where all the action is going to happen, and we're going to create a new custom widget. Let's head over to pub.dev and look for the video editor that we want. And it is version 3 that we want. This one here with all of these likes. To start off with, we'll just apply the boilerplate code here. It is not got any of the functionality in it that we want, and we're going to save that. Now I note here that it says that manage your dependencies and parameters below, and there are no dependencies now, and I've worked out that this is a new version of version 6, and the dependencies are over here now, and we need to add a Flutterflow public dependency. My mistake, a custom pub dependency, and we need to add that, and the package and the version constraint is going to come from over here. So we are going to copy that and paste that into this box over here. We can now return to our custom widget over here, and we're going to see, or should I more accurately say that I was expecting to see the dependencies down here, but let's assume that in this new version that they are now going to be compiled into the project. Head back over to the pub.dev dependencies and head for installing, and where it says import the package over here, we're going to copy that and we're going to put that underneath this line here, do not remove or modify. We're going to paste that in there. And the very fact that this hasn't redlined indicates that it has picked up the fact that the dependency is installed. So that is good news. Let's save that. Now you have to be in the desktop version of Flutterflow to be able to do this next step. But we want to go over to this lightning rod over here, and we want to go to the developer options at the moment. I actually want to open this project in Cursor, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it in VS Code first. And here it is, it's popped up. Now, if you were to continue doing this, perhaps using the built-in Gemini that you can do, then you could probably do it from here. But I actually want to use Cursor because I have a Cursor subscription. The processes are going to be very, very similar. Now, the reason why I've opened it up here is because I actually want to find out where the local version of the project is actually held. And that is given away by here when I highlight that, and it pops out. But I want to copy that path. I can then paste that path into my file system over here, and on a good day that will open up the rough location. I want to go up one here. I want to be able to see the VS Code, all of this over here, and I now in actual fact want to open that in a terminal. You will have to have Cursor installed obviously to do this, and we can go across over here and we can see, and the command to open that in Cursor is cursor with a dot. So we're now going to open the project up, the same project. It's going to look almost identical to opening it up in VS Code. So we'll let that happen. I can now actually close this version over here. I can close that as well, and I can close that. I can also close the version here that is in VS Code, and over here we are going to see that I have got the same project here, and you can tell that this is in Cursor now because the symbol over here is different. Everything else looks incredibly similar, and we're just going to put a new terminal in there because that's partly where we're going to be working from. And because this is Cursor, we've got over here our AI generation panel, which we're going to use extensively to install this video editing dependency. Now let's just quickly understand what we're looking at here. This is a version of my FlutterFlow project that is on my local hard drive, but it is, or at least it can be, synchronized with the total FlutterFlow project. In other words, the one that's up in the cloud as well. And just to show you what I mean by that, if we go here to the library, notice this is all in red. That means that it's not going to compile. It's got mistakes in it, but that doesn't matter at the moment. The point being is that we go into custom code, we can see that our video editor is in there exactly as we put it. We can now work on that, and once we've got the dependency installed properly, we can then move that up into the main project, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Now this is where the magic really begins. We're going to use AI over here in this chat window to construct the custom widget for us. And we're going to do that by telling it exactly where the pub.dev dependency is, and we're going to tell it where the GitHub that's associated with it, and we're going to let it read those documentations and to construct the custom widget for us. Yes, I know it sounds unbelievable, but it does actually work, even if it takes us a few tries to do it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to tell it where this documentation is, and secondly, we need to construct a good prompt around those instructions so that the AI knows exactly what it needs to do. If we hit this little @ sign over here and scroll down, you can see that we can give it some web addresses, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So @web, and heading back to our pub.dependencies over here, we're going to give it this example over here. So we'll copy that URL like this, and we will use the GitHub URL as well. And that can be found over here on the right hand side, the GitHub repository. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to get that GitHub URL, and we're also going to put that into Cursor. Okay, so we've got both of those documents into the context window. We're now going to construct the prompt. Let's just make sure that the video editor here is in the chat. So add file to Cursor chat, just so that we're 100% sure it's there. It does have the tab, so it should have been anyway. Okay, I'm going to try a very simple one. Put the code in. I've just put XXX because I wrote that elsewhere. I'm just going to put the @ sign and make sure that it knows that we're referring to the video editor.dart. Okay, so we've got a choice of which model we can use here. I'm actually going to switch that out into auto to let Cursor decide which one it wants to use. And now we are going to set it loose. Okay, and off it goes, and it starts running and writing a few codes. So we want to follow the instructions. So when it says run here, we hit the run and let it do whatever it asks at this stage. Okay, Flutter pub get is another, that is going to install the dependencies that are required. So just to understand this is actually running commands that one might otherwise have put in the terminal for us. And it's downloading the packages here. This will probably fix quite a lot of the red that was going over on the left-hand side over here. Okay, great. The dependency are now installed. Let me create a comprehensive video editor custom widget based on the documentation. Okay, carry on. Okay, after a few moments, it started to write code. You can keep the changes as you go along, or you can wait until it's finished at the end and keep all the changes. It doesn't really matter. I would, however, keep all the changes before running Flutter pub.get again over here. Again, it's wanting to analyze the code by running a command, so we let it do that. Okay, it's still analyzing. We'll run that again. You can see there's a little less red going on over here, so we're making progress. It's found some issues and it's going to go and fix them automatically. We like this, don't we? Okay, again here we've got a command to run. I'm going to keep all the changes before I do that. Okay, it's carrying on looking for errors. Notice how the video editor Dart over here is, in actual fact, not red anymore. Well, that's huge progress. Keep all the changes here. Let it run that again. It's still looking for errors. It's carrying on. We've got some more code that it's changed. Watch out for these review next file. That means that there's a different file, the pub spec.yaml, that it's changing. You want to just keep an eye on that. Make sure that you've saved everything before you run the next command over here. It's running flutter pub.get again to make sure that we've got the right dependencies. Still finding issues, and it's going to carry on. Slowly but surely, it's going from 7 to 8 to 7 to 6, fixing all the issues. We like that. It's even created some documentation for us. It seems to have gone kind of like the extra mile, but perhaps the extra mile too far here, and so it's created a home page. Fortunately, it's done that in the custom widget code. If it had done it elsewhere, it would have not worked. I'm going to ask it to try and fix that so that this is not red. So at home widget page Dart, we add that, and we just say seems to have bugs, and then just ask it to fix. It may not be essential. We may simply not use this home page, but let's run this through to the end and see what happens. Again, I'm just following the instructions over here, running when it says to run, saving before those. Now I've run into a slightly unexpected issue here that I could have avoided, which it seems to have altered the FlutterFlow navigation system over here. Now, why doesn't that matter? It doesn't matter because this is the local version. And as soon as I copy over the custom widget that we have created, then it is going to basically overwrite that. So it doesn't matter. I probably should have told the prompt at the very, very beginning to never alter files outside the custom code. I think if we told it to do that, it wouldn't have tried to create a home page. Very useful. We're not going to use the home page. We're going to create our own. But I don't think it matters, and I'm going to carry on and hopefully prove that to be true. So the most important thing is that we seem to have a functional video editor. Let's see if it actually compiles in FlutterFlow now. And the way we do that is we're going to copy it, Control-A, Control-C, and we're going to go back into FlutterFlow, back into our custom code over here, and the video editor there, we are going to paste that in. It apparently doesn't have any lint. Oh, it does have a couple of errors up at the top, but I bet you they're imports that we don't need. We may have to fix that in AI in a minute, but what we're going to do is we're going to save that. We're going to save it anyway, okay, even though it's got the error in, and I'll show you why. Now, here is a really crucial little trick, and that I discovered. I'm sure other people have discovered it too, but it's really necessary, and it's really quite cool. Although we've got this code here up in FlutterFlow, it is not, as yet, the new version reflected down here, basically at the Dart level. And the way you get that to update within FlutterFlow is that you actually go and run in a test environment, say to Chrome over here. And the first thing that it's going to do when it does that is update the local version. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. If I hit test, Oh, it does not have the Chrome platform enabled. That is a really simple thing to fix. We simply just need to go and do exactly that, platform web, and come back to where we were before. And we are going to, which was here, we're going to do that again. We're going to test it in Google Chrome. The first thing it's to do is export the project. And the effect of that is to update down here. And in a minute, we're actually going to see, look how all the red disappeared again. It's actually now overwritten. It's now in Cursor. Beautiful little trick. It does mean, of course, that we've got, we're potentially going to have 2 test versions open at the same time, but that does not matter. At this stage, we're not really interested in starting this app over here. Firstly, we haven't put the custom widget into a page yet. And secondly, we know that it's got errors. But now that the version that we're looking at here in FlutterFlow is synchronized with Cursor, we can carry on fixing those bugs in Cursor and reiterate and go around the loop another time. You know what? Actually, looking at the code here, I can see that it is about the image picker dependency not being there, and the other errors are also about that. So we can possibly fix that right here at the top end level. So I'm not actually going to use Cursor to do this. I'm going to see whether we can do it ourselves. And I think the problem is that we don't have the image picker over here. So let's go and search for the image picker. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. We've copied that. Let's go back to FlutterFlow and add that as a dependency. All right. And then let's go back over to our custom code. And, well, let's wait for the linter to finish. Beautiful. No errors. Okay. All right. Now we still, let's have a look at what we're doing over here. Well, let's initialize that. So restarting the app, that should have the effect of updating down here as well. Let's see if it does. Yes, you can see that it does because it's running some commands over here, and all the red has gone again. Brilliant. Okay, well, we've now got a huge progress. It's not complete though, because you can see if I pick a video here, and I can go and choose a short video here, we get an error, unsupported operator. So rather than debugging it over here in FlutterFlow, I'm going to again go back to Cursor, and what we're going to do is we're going to run the project now from within Cursor, and that's going to allow us to do the debugging on the fly. So in almost exactly the same way as we get our test version up and running in Chrome using FlutterFlow, we're going to get another window here which is going to be identical to that. So we've got to be a bit careful we don't get the two confused. Okay, after a few moments you can see we get something almost identical coming up. It will of course have exactly the same bug in it. We're not expecting it to be any different because we haven't changed anything. Just to prove that, we want to really grab that error and start debugging it. So that's what I'll do now. So the prompt I put in, we have this error when picking a video from my local drive, error picking video unsupported operation. Let's send that off and see what happens. Okay, it's looking for a solution. Okay, it appears that this video editor is only available on Android, on iOS. So what we're going to do is we're going to come across here, and we're going to stop this, and we're going to run it. This time we're going to run it in an emulator, this one here, and give it another go. Here's the emulator. Okay, so I chose that video, and we can see, oh, lo and behold, we appear to have a functional application. You can see down here that it's doing the timelines on it. Let's see if I can play that. And yes, it is playing. This is a demo of a FlutterFlow application, actually. And we can see there, we can probably stop that. Okay, and say we want to trim. We can trim it here, and we can save the trim. export the video. Exporting 90%, video exported, 100% functional. So that's how you do it. That's how you can take a fairly complex video editor, pub.dev dependency, and use Cursor to install it. The only drawback on this particular version that I use is that it runs on an actual phone, not in the web, so I couldn't use some of the debugging of the web version. But as you can see, we've got there, and I hope this was useful. And if it was useful to you, then please don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.